issues than just TIF alone.
Okay, Tom, you have a final thought?
Yeah, I'd just say, as the executive director of the Illinois Tax Increment Association, it's one of the last tools available to municipalities with this state and fiscal budget crisis. I mean, you can go to my website and download an enormous amount of information free. You don't have to be a member, and it's www.illinois-tif.com, and you can download quite a bit of stuff that we've already been talking about. So. Just www.illinois-tif.com. So.
A final thought, Ben?
I actually agree with everything that Rachel said, that it is a tool. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be evil. It's really goes city to city. And so when I think about the way TIFs work in Chicago, I tend not to blame really Mayor Daley for all the abuses. I blame the citizens of Chicago because they've been asleep at the wheel for the last 20 or so years. So maybe they will wake up in the next year or so and pay more attention to what's being done with their tax dollars.
Let me take 1 second to introduce a couple people, because I just want to end on, I should have introduced him at the beginning. Tom Tresser is the Green Party candidate for president of the Cook County Board, and he is the gentleman who fought a long and ultimately successful fight against the 2016 Olympics. He takes credit for the death of the Olympics. I think it's sort of like success has many fathers, and in this case.
Thank me later.
Anyway, Tom Tresser. Also from the Better Government Association, I just want to introduce the two new people on our investigative team. Bob Reed, former editor of Crane Chicago Business, former communications director for Pat Quinn, and also someone whose work in Chicago in a very different arena has probably had as much of an impact as Ben's effort to educate and inform us all about TIFs, and that's our new senior investigator, John Conroy. If John will stand up. John has a distinction which all John did was basically discover police torture in Area 2 in Chicago and basically own the torture story for the next 25 years until Commander Burge was convicted on 2 counts in federal court. He has been the conscience of Chicago in many ways. He's going to be a senior investigator for the Better Government Association. I want to thank Emily and Jake, 2 of our interns, for helping us tonight. I want to introduce Mary Frances O'Connor sitting up there, and I want to introduce Mary Frances for one last reason before we all go. Mary Frances is running our Watchdog training program, which is a program that started in Rogers Park a month ago and has now moved to the South Side, and with any luck and funding, we'll move it all around the state. We are training people to be our eyes and ears in every community. We can only take back this government, we can only clean up the mess if all the people who come to an event like this become the eyes and ears of good government. So we're trying to provide people with the rudiments of journalism and watchdogging at these training sessions. And the next one is tomorrow night on the campus of IIT on the South Side. I think we have something in the back on that, but if you want any details, it's on our website, bettergov.org, along with information about the Stevens Lunch and everything else we've been up to, because we have a lot of work to do in this state. And I am absolutely thrilled that a room like this could stay together and listen to a subject which only Ben Jarofsky can claim credit for one thing, and I think that if you, on his grave, it's going to be this epitaph. He made TIFs sexy. And I think that if you'd said 10 years ago, would anybody even know what they meant, let alone how they worked and don't work and could work and should work. But I think, and Ben's one of many. I think this TIF awareness and TIF concern is an issue whose time has come. I'll give Ben a lot of credit, but the economy and the environment and the circumstances we live in now had an awful lot to do with that too. But I think that everyone who walks out of this room tonight will have a better understanding of where we ought to be going as a city and hopefully as a state on the issue of TIFs. And to that extent, if one of the new missions of the Better Government Association can be to drive a vigorous and civilized discussion of key public policy issues, then I think we've taken our new mandate seriously. Thank you all for coming, and think about joining the Better Government Association. We cannot do this by ourselves.